Have you ever had those moments where you kind of felt like you talked yourself out of doing something you know you should have done? You just didn't have that belief in yourself. You didn't have the confidence. Was it ever a moment where, you wanted to go shoot your shot? Maybe it was somebody you were attracted to or somebody you had a chance to network with, but you just couldn't quite get over that hump to make the introduction, right? Have you ever felt just maybe overwhelmed in social settings, like you maybe just felt like you didn't belong? If you're in that boat, I've been there, and let me tell you, it's not fun, right? When you don't have the confidence that you feel that you need to. Now, the $1 million question: are you born with confidence, or is confidence something that can be learned? Well, I'm an example that confidence can be learned, and in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what I did to go from a socially anxious, shy introvert to a very confident, motivating, empowering introvert. I'm still introverted. However, I got confidence with it now. In this video, I'm going to explain how you can pull that confidence out of you, just following the steps that I did. You're not going to want to miss this. Hey, what's up, folks? Jimmy here, Ingrain the Train, back with more heat for you guys. Appreciate all the feedback, the positive feedback, and those of you who are sharing the content, especially on your social media, on the Instagram, the Reels. It really means a lot to me. Keep doing it, help the channel grow. Somebody needs to hear this message, right? So if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, comment for the algorithm, right? Help me grow, help me spread this message. And today, I just want to talk about something that's very dear to my heart, because for a lot of years, I struggled with this. And I feel a lot of people today struggle with this as well. And that is lack of confidence, right? As you see, self-help, personal development is a huge industry. Motivational Instagram pages come a dime a dozen. Like, people are kind of looking for that solution, right? How do I become that dude, that woman? How do I become that boss? How do I level up? How can I go from, beta to alpha, however you want to label it? People want more confidence. They want more belief in themselves. And I could tell you just from my personal experience, for years, I struggled with confidence. Now, a lot of people who know me now, they don't believe it. I had clients say, Jimmy, I never could believe there's a time where you weren't confident. Well, there was. Pretty much my whole adolescent life. And a lot of my self-esteem issues came from, I'm naturally a quiet person. I'm very introverted. I'm in my head a lot. I prefer to think. I rather listen than speak. And people, they just found that strange. And they were like, they used to always make me feel like something was wrong. Like, why don't you come out of your shell? You need to open up more. That's strange. Are you depressed? Do you have ADHD? All sorts of just negative comments. So I always felt like something was wrong with me. And when I tried to be more extroverted, try, speaking more and more social settings and kind of try to be that guy that works the room, it just felt weird and made me feel anxious and real fidgety, and it just gave off bad energy. And it took years for me to realize that there's nothing wrong with being quiet. So I embraced that about my personality, is that I have I have like a social battery, and that battery drains very quickly, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just how I am. When I began to understand that's just how my brain was wired, I was able to turn that from anxiousness into empowerment. I was able to use that to my advantage. And as I accepted that about me, my confidence grew. I felt more comfortable in social settings. I became less anxious. I became more bolder. I began building a bigger network and all those things. And what changed was just the confidence within myself. So I'm going to kind of break down the process that I went through to get there, to get from that shy kid that felt like something was wrong with him to, a leader, coach, mentor, motivator to who I am today speaking on this camera. First thing, and I touched on this a little bit, you have to embrace who you are. Well, look on social media today. Everybody's trying to be something they're not, right? They want to fake it till they make it, act like they're making all this money. They got BBLs, surgeries, filters, all sorts of stuff to make people try to be something that they're not, try to portray this image of something that they are not, to play this game of clout chasing, likes, retweets, and all that stuff. Embrace who you are. If you're a quiet person, you're a quiet person. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're a social butterfly, you're a social butterfly, right? If you like to read, if you like to, design things, whatever it is, own it. That's the first step. Own it. You must own who you really are, because the more you try to be something you're not, the more you try to fake it till you make it, what's going to happen is there's going to be an uneasiness about you. There's going to be an anxiousness because you're fighting against who you naturally are. Always remember this. No matter what you're good at, what your skill sets are, what you like or dislike, you're going to always have people that vibe with you. You're going to have people who don't. That's okay. Reminds me of this phrase I heard. You can be the juiciest peach in the bowl, but some people just won't like peaches. Right? So that's that first step. You have to embrace who you are as a person, your personality traits, the things that you like. Own it and be proud of it. Don't be ashamed. Be proud of you. That comes first. Okay? So don't try to be something you're not. That's the first step. Second, what you want to do is know your strengths and do more of that. Okay? Good piggyback off that first point. I always suggest people do some personality assessments like the Strength Finders test. There's the Myers-Briggs test. There's another one, the DISC assessment. Things like that, just to really get an idea of what your strengths are, what you're good at. Because too many times people are wasting time on things that they're not good at, that they lack talent in, thinking that they could become better. Instead, what you do is find out what you're great at, double down on that, because when you do things that you're good at, right, you're going to really excel. That's how you become elite. And as you become elite, you accomplish more. As you accomplish more, right, you start to feel better about yourself, and that's where your confidence is going to really come from. So know what your strengths are. Like me personally, my strength is coaching. So the more that I coach, right, I'm confident in that space. I'm confident in the gym, right? I'm good at building one-on-one relationships. That's a strength of mine. So I'm confident in those areas. So the more that I do that, the more confidence that I exude, because I'm doing things that I'm really good at. I'm not wasting time on stuff I'm not good at. Like, for example, I'm an introvert. So doing cold calling sales is not going to make me feel confident. It's going to drain my social battery. I'm not going to like it. I'm going to feel uneasy all the time. I'm going to feel anxious and stressed. And it's just not going to make me feel good about myself, because it's not a strength of mine. Cold calling sales is not my personality. Some people, they're great at that. I had a buddy, super extroverted. He would kill cold calling sales. Whenever we would do public events, I mean, our table was always the most rockin' lit table, because he just had that personality to like call people over, and that was his thing. That's it. That's what he was gifted at. Me, not so much. I'm more to sit down, chat one-on-one, do these videos. And the more I do those things that I'm good at, the better I feel about myself. So you know what your strengths are. Take some of those assessments, get some feedback from the people around you, your employer, whoever can give you some real legit feedback. Double down on your strengths, delegate weaknesses. Delegate that to somebody else, right? You're gonna feel so much better about yourself. You're gonna feel more empowered. You're gonna get more accomplished, okay? Tip number 3, celebrate your wins, no matter how small. This is one that people don't give themselves enough credit for, right? They'll do something and they'll downplay it. Somebody could lose 5 pounds, which isn't easy to do for most people. And they're like, it's only 5 pounds. They're pissed because it wasn't 20. Like, no, you lose 5 pounds. You put in the work to lose the 5 pounds. You need to celebrate that, because what happens is if you don't know how to celebrate the small wins, you're not going to know how to celebrate the big ones. And what really creates the big wins is a lot of small wins. If you understand how the brain works, if you can reward yourself for getting little things accomplished, right, it's just going to create more of those feel-good hormones to get you to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And that's how you're going to move forward. So that's what you want to be focusing on, right? You want to celebrate small wins. I can't stress that enough. And think about it this way. Think about when you make a mistake. It's the smallest mistake. What do? We beat ourselves up over it, right? It could be the smallest mistake, something that's easily corrected. And what do we say? Oh, I'm so stupid. I can't believe I did that. I messed up again. Something that can be easily corrected, right? So if you're gonna beat yourself up over small mistakes, why not do the opposite and celebrate like crazy when you have a small win? Get what I'm saying? So you gotta celebrate the small wins. Again, if you lose 5 pounds, you lost 5 pounds. If you made a sale at the job, you made a sale, celebrate it. If you meal prepped, right? If you reached out, you shot your shot at somebody that you're attracted to, celebrate it. Even if it didn't go exactly how you thought the outcome should be, celebrate. So celebrate that you took action, because guess what? Most people, and this is something I tell myself a lot, most people wouldn't even take in that step. So I get hyped about it, and you should too. Celebrate those wins, right? The more you celebrate those wins, the more wins you're gonna get. I promise. And a lot of those little wins are gonna compound to very, very, very large wins. I promise you. Okay. Next one about, confidence, right? Exercise. I cannot stress enough. If you put in the work and you change your body for the better, right? Whether if you're a woman trying to get nice and toned, fit in that dress better, if you're a man trying to, look all yoked, jacked, look good in the shirt, whatever. I promise you, you are not going to be less confident as you build a better body. It's just not going to happen. Matter of fact, the more you move, the better you're going to feel about yourself anyways, right? Action beats anxiety every time. So you want to make sure that you're doing what you need to do to build a better body. You want to be more confident, build a better body. I can't tell you how much my confidence really went up as I put on more muscle, as I got more compliments, as I looked in the mirror and I'm like, wow, my shirts fit a lot better. I look a certain way. It created a better presence for me when, I am walking around, right? I'd walk around like I belong in the room. I walk around like I'm somebody important. And just having a nice, strong, physical body really, really helps with that. Again, the mind and the body are connected, right? So the better you train the body, the better you train the mind, right? So you want to make sure that you're doing what you need to do to be the best looking version of yourself. And I'm not even talking about going this extreme as trying to look like a influencer or a model or, crazy shredded, physique competitor. I'm not even talking about that, but just work on improving yourself. Work on improving yourself. Be the best looking version of yourself. Hit the gym, exercise, work those muscles, move some weights a few times a week, eat the protein, change the way your body looks for the better. Look better, you're gonna feel better, period. All right, so you wanna exercise. And then the next one that really, really, really helped my confidence, and it's kind of a unorthodox one, but I highly recommend everybody do it if there's a way for you to do it in your area. Take an improv comedy class. Right, improv comedy. Like I'm not trying to be a comedian, right? Look, improv comedy took my social skills to a whole new level. And I remember my first class, like I thought I was gonna sit down first and kind of observe the other students and kind of see, what they did, and that the teacher would kind of explain like some principles of comedy and what to do on stage. Like, nope. First day, first skit, Jimmy, get up there. Threw me right into the fire. I was so uncomfortable. I was so nervous. But what it did for me was it taught me how to get out of here and be present in the moment. Because when you're doing improv comedy, you can't be thinking. You have to vibe with the audience. You have to vibe with the people on the stage. You have to read the room, and you have to just kind of let go. And it really, really helped me. So having to be able to do that, having to pick up on, you know, the other students' body language, you know, as they're doing their skit at the same time as me, you know, just kind of reacting to them and vibing with them. Again, just taught me to be present. Getting a feel for the audience, what they find funny, what they don't find funny, just reacting to them. It just really, really helped me in that area, again, with body language, reading the room, getting out of my head, letting go. But also it just kind of, you know, pushes you past your comfort zone, right? If you're not used to being on stage, not used to being in front of people, trying to be funny and cracking skits, you know, on the fly and jokes, it makes you better, right? You get out your comfort zone, you grow. So I highly recommend, if you can, you do 6-8 weeks of improv comedy. Usually the classes aren't that expensive, right? The one I did was $10 a class. It was like an hour, hour and a half. Did it after work. It was a lot of fun, but it made me better. Like, it just took my social skills to a whole new level. Maybe a better trainer, maybe a better communicator. Or work, you know, when I do decide to network, I mean, it just allowed me to really vibe and create good energy with people. And yeah, like I have nothing bad to say about it. So it's a little unorthodox. You may not hear that one much, but I'm telling you, improv comedy will help take your charisma, your social skills, and your confidence to a whole new level. Okay? And then last but not least, you want to be more confident. I want you to understand this, and this is coming from a coach. A lot of people, you know, they confide in me. Everybody, regardless of how successful they are, how much money they make, how many women they have, how much, you know, athletic ability they have, every single person has fears, insecurity, problems. We all do. And I say that to say this: nobody has this thing figured out. So don't beat yourself up worrying about what they think, because guess what? They got their own things that they're worried about too. They got their own insecurities. They got their own things they're trying to figure out. So don't go in thinking that somebody is, you know, they got something over you, right? Or that they just live this perfect life, because they don't. Nobody does. Nobody does. So don't feel like you have to be perfect. Show up as that version of you, that best version of you. And I promise you, when you adopt that mindset, you realize that everybody in this room, nobody has it figured out. We're all trying to figure this thing called life out, one day at a time. Takes the pressure off of you, because they're going through something too. I have my challenges. I'm no different, and you aren't either. So just go in and just be you. Sounds simple, but I'm telling you, if you put all that together, that's how I did it. All these 7 steps really, really helped me become the most confident version of myself. And the last thing I'll say about this is understand that it's not a destination. So it's not just like you go from shy to just confident and it's done. Think of it more as a journey, right? A self-development journey. So as you work on yourself, as you're, you know, building a better body, as you're, you know, dressing better, as you're doing things that are making you the best version of yourself, just understand it's a daily process. It's just a daily process. Okay? And as Tony Robbins says, progress equals happiness. So as long as you are improving just a little bit every single day, you're just improving on something, you're gonna feel better. Right? It's when we're not making improvements when we get depressed. It's when we're going backwards is when we get unhappy and anxious and stressed. But when you're making progress, sky's the limit for you. You're gonna be living a whole new life. So shoot for that. Remember, it's not a destination. It's really something that's done each and every single day. It's about small daily progress over time. And just don't give up on yourself. Keep working on yourself, and you will exude that good energy, those good vibes, that good confidence. People are going to feed off that, and you're going to get way more opportunities than you ever had before. Okay? Okay. So I hope that helped. Again, please, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, comment for the algorithm. And if this helped you out, share it with somebody for me. Share it with somebody. Somebody needs to hear this message. Somebody needs more confidence. And till next time, I'm checking out.